Jake and Ken had 250 marbles altogether. After Jake had given 1/6 of his marbles to Ken, both had the same number of marbles. How many marbles did each boy have at first? From the question, 250 marbles represent the at first info. After represents the change involved, while same number of marbles represents at the end. For a start, we're going to use a model to show the number of units of marbles that Jake have at first. From the question, Jake has 6 units of marbles. So we're going to label 6 units of marbles for Jake. Now out of the 6 units, he's going to give 1 unit to Ken. So from here, we will cut out 1 unit of marble, which will be given to Ken. So let's draw the model for Ken. Although we do not know how many units of marbles Ken has at first, but we can derive this information after we have drawn the number of units of marbles for Ken at the end. So how many units of marbles does Ken have in the end? Since the question says that both boys have the same number of marbles in the end, first of all, we can find out how many units of marbles Jake have in the end. Total 6 units minus 1 unit. From here, we know that Jake has 5 units of marbles at the end, which means that for Ken, he should rightfully also have 5 units of marbles at the end, because the question says that both has the same number of marbles. However, from the 5 units of marbles from Ken, 1 unit comes from Jake, because from the question it was mentioned that Jake had given 1 unit of his marbles to Ken. So from this point onwards, we can now determine the number of units of marbles that Ken have at first. Now, since Ken has 5 units of marbles in the end, and 1 unit of it comes from Jake, which means to say that 5 units minus 1 unit, Ken will have 4 units of marbles at first. So now, based on the information given, we can now see that 6 units of the marbles for Jake and 4 units of the marbles from Ken will make up the 250 marbles at first. 6 units plus 4 units will give us 10U. And this 10U will represent the 250 marbles at first. Now we are going to solve for 1U. 250 divided by 10 units, which will give me 25 marbles. So from here, we know that 1 unit represents 25 marbles. Therefore, now we can solve the number of marbles for both boys. For Jake, since he has 6 units at the beginning, so 25 times 6, Jake has 150 marbles at first. While for Ken has 4 units at the beginning. Therefore, 25 times 4 will give me 100 marbles. So the answer, Jake has 150 marbles, Ken has 100 marbles at first. When we add them up, 150 and 100, these two numbers will give us the total of 250 marbles at first. So therefore, we can confirm that the answer shaded in pink here is correct.